We are now going to look at ComplyPro's ability to work with external documents. From our home page, we click through to the External Documents section. I'm just going to switch the view around to a parallel view so that we can see more of the attributes being displayed. So, here we've got several references to external documents from ComplyPro. Now, I'll explain the difference between a ComplyPro document and an external document. Inside ComplyPro, when you bring a document in, you take it out into separate statements. So, for example, if I just quickly dip back across to a main specification, so let me just pop into the SRS for example, you'll see here that you've got several statements all below each other that originally could have been in a Word or Excel or a PDF document, all split up so that each can be referenced independently, with several sort of categorizations and other sort of attributes of information being kept against it. So this document is, as a ComplyPro document, is all sectioned out in the system and is edited and maintained inside ComplyPro. So it's kind of like a virtual document. Now, back in our external document section, we can see in here that we've got externally linked documents or references to external information. Still, these are referenced line by line, so we can link to each one independently from places within ComplyPro where relevant. But there's three types of document, if you like, that we can link to. So I can create new documents on this list simply by right clicking and inserting a document after. It'll put the row in and I can then fill in the details to the different attributes and spaces provided. But let's have a look at some of the ones that are already in here. So external information sources can be just purely web-based. If we look here, here's a link to our website. So when we click on that link, it will open up, and we're running two screens here, so I'll just drag it across and it's opened up our website in Internet Explorer. So we've also got these links called file. So there's an L drive, we call it the L drive, which is a shared document area relevant to the system, the ComplyPro system being used on our service. So it's possible to save and store documents in that shared documents area and then reference them from within ComplyPro. This is known as the L drive. So you'll see here there's several different documents all stored on the L drive. And if we want to, we can simply click on this link. Once again, I'll drag it across, and here's a Word document that has now opened up. And here, for example, a PDF document that's now opened up. So you can store local documents to ComplyPro on the L drive. You can reference external sources of information on the internet using the web link here. So that can just purely be a website, or it could be a URL in exactly this format, but that points to your document management system, and that will then obviously open up that document. When you click on it, may well prompt you for an authentication or a login, depending upon which network or where you're trying to log into it from. So the ComplyPro takes that a little bit further, in that you can maintain revisions of these documents in ComplyPro and compare them to the document management system version where that's relevant. So if I just take document 2 as an example, so let's look at this document here. Now in ComplyPro, when we put this document in, it was at version 2.3. When we created this particular row on here, we popped in the version, and at that point the version was 2.3. And this is the current DMS version. Now in this scenario here, I'm just physically going to change this manually. So if I did a review of the documents in ComplyPro, ran through the document identities and put in the latest versions of them from a list from the document management system, and let's just say this was now version 2.4, that will flag up that the DMS version has now changed compared to the version that ComplyPro knew about. So what we should then do is look at the, if I just drag this up a little bit at the bottom, this is all of the places in these separate tabs where this particular document has been referenced in the system. So in the user requirement specification, I've got two user requirements that reference this document. I've got one user requirement change request and one interface requirement. They all reference this particular document. So because they reference this document, then you can see that now I've changed document 2, which is against this particular, in this case, user requirement change. It's also flagging up in the data set that, hang on a second, doc2 is the source document here and it has changed. So what we should do is review all the places where this document is linked against, and we can then check that we're happy that nothing is not relevant anymore, or that it's changed something that we should be concerned about. And at such time as we've done that, we can then modify the version in ComplyPro to reflect the latest version, and then of course the warning flag will then go away. So lastly, there's a little bit of intelligence that you can put into this DMS version column. So depending upon the document management system that you work with, and indeed there will be a possibility that we can automate the update of this DMS version column. That could be overnight, once a week, or basically on a schedule. And then, so when you come in the morning, you could see, an updated column in here. So with any DMS changed flags having then been automatically populated. That's something we can investigate with you when the time comes, but we've achieved with several document management systems on the marketplace. Thanks very much.